What's going on, everyone? CE420 here. I know it looks doom and gloom outside, especially depending where you live. It's in the single digits to negative temperatures right now, Fahrenheit to be clear. Now, there are a lot of things we can do right now to prepare for the grow season ahead. It is never too early to start, and it is something that we need to be prepared for as gardeners, especially if we want a bountiful outdoor harvest to carry us to next year. I'm going to talk about a couple things you can do right now and some strategies to go into the grow season with to not only make this year successful, but make next year successful as well. And possibly a breeding rotation that I think a lot more people should get onto. If you have that quality genetic, you want to narrow down, you want to find out what you can really do with it, and you want to save money, we're going to talk about the best way to start your garden, start lowering costs on genetics, and also why you should start your garden so early. I get it. There's a lot of reasons why you wouldn't want to start a garden so early. You don't want your plants to get so big inside, you don't have room to grow plants inside, and it's just not viable to make a setup. Electrical fires happen. People have real sensitive breakers and stuff like that. If you absolutely cannot start a grow right now, obviously you can't outside because it's less than 12 hours of light, especially here. If there is a viable, an actual reason you can't grow, you can just either leave this video or keep listening for the actual strategy. But right now, very close to right now, there is a window of time where it is going to be a fantastic asset to start popping those seeds you've always wanted to pop in your closet. This year, I got a strawberry banana. I have a single seed of that. I got Chill Out OG, and I have Peanut Butter Breath. And those genetics are going to be my primary runners into this year's outdoor season. But what am I really going to be doing with my plants? What is the strategy that I have put myself in place? Well, it comes down to how much are you consuming. It comes down to what do you want to get out of your genetics, and we're going to tackle all of those problems right here. When it comes to the outdoor, it's a very chaotic place. Anything can happen. You're literally putting your plants in the elements. Now, if you have a greenhouse, this will eliminate some of the factors, but you still have to be wary. You still have to be skilled. You have to know what's going on. Getting into your outdoor season, I want to put out a head start for myself personally. I want to get that veg stage. I want to have a plant going outside that is healthy, that is mature, that can deal with almost anything you can throw at it. The hardy genetics I have now, the genetics I've dealt with in the past, unfortunately, my past two outdoor seasons, I was only able to grow plants that are even smaller than the plants I've been able to grow inside of my 6x2 closet. I want to alleviate that. I want to grow something bigger, better, more abundant. And I think the key to that is going to be starting early, getting the veg inside, growing the plant, making sure it is already large going into the outdoor season, and then those bonus 5 months of veg are only going to make it even bigger and better and grow me some pounds. Now, there's a couple things you can do. You can grow a single seed. You can germinate it. You can find out exactly what you want. If you aren't doing a pheno hunt, if you have a clone from a mother plant that you grew inside and you want that to be huge and grow a couple pounds off of it, I recommend taking a clone right now, throwing it into that veg stage, growing an absolute monster plant to then throw outdoor, and just absolutely destroying the game, getting the max you can out of those genetics. If you have a lot of room in your garden and you have a specific genetic you want to grow, outdoor cloning is going to be your key to getting a maximum yield, because you could grow one plant that grows 2 pounds, or you could grow 12 plants that grow 2 pounds, 2.5 pounds each. Cloning has been an essential key to growing as much as you can and getting what you can out of your genetics, especially when it comes to plant count limits and budget when it comes to buying seed. You want to maximize the cost of your seed. You want to invest in things that are going to help you have a higher success rate, like rooting hormone and stuff like that. You're going to need to create a regimen to get the most out of your plants. And that's really what this video is about, but specifically catered to outdoor for one very specific reason. I want to go on a rotation personally, and this is the blueprint that I'm going to follow for the next couple of years. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to go and do my outdoor season, but inside I'm also going to do a run. What is this run going to be? It is going to be starting my breeding to create my own genetic, which eventually I'll release to you guys, but that's very far into the future. My strategy behind this is I'm going to run an indoor run. It's going to be purely for breeding. I'm going to do a pheno hunt. I'm going to get the genetics I want. I'm going to make sure I'm happy with what I have. Breed the mothers and fathers together, the parents. I'm going to breed them together, but outside, the opposite's going to happen. I'm going to be banking on that flour, those pounds of flour, because as you guys might know, it's very unpleasant to pick the seeds out of your flour and then smoke the remainder. Of course I could, but at that point that flour is kind of boof, because you have to grow your plants about 4 weeks after you would normally cut them down to make sure those seeds are all mature and you're getting a good quality product. So for these purposes, I'm going to be growing outside for my product and growing indoors to get my genetics. So how am I specifically going to go about this problem? I'm going to be growing a peanut butter breath. I'm going to get wedding cake very soon. I'm going to grow wedding cakes. I've already decided that I want my mother to be the wedding cake. However, I am going to want female peanut butter breasts for one specific reason. I want to grow female peanut butter breasts to understand what genetic coding could possibly be going into the children, the female children specifically, how they're going to taste, how they're going to act, how they're going to grow, and that kind of stuff, just to get an idea. Because again, these are F3s, they're a little bit narrowed down for those peanut butter breasts, so I want to get an idea of what kind of product, what kind of cross I'm going to be making. I'm going to be growing wedding cakes inside. I'm going to be doing all this inside, and then from there I'm going to be taking clones, and I'm going to grow the clones outdoors. But for the peanut butter breasts specifically, I'm going to be taking clones of the females, and I'm going to be growing the seeded and the clones outdoors from those females, because I'm not going to use them for breeding. Not this run, at least. Eventually I might want to make more peanut butter breaths. That's why I'm not going to grow all of the seeds. I might start with 5. I'm only going to keep one male that I want to breed with for sure. This plant's going to be hardy in the veg stage. It's going to be comfortable with the lights. It's going to be good with nutrients, and it's going to be easy to train. Those are the things I want, but I won't be able to know that for the first run, because I'm going to do something I've never done before. I'm going to grow them in the Christmas tree style, indoors and outdoors. I'm going to be extremely hands-off, and I'm not really hesitant about it. I want to know their genetic coding. I want to know what they could possibly be susceptible to. I'm going to grow them in as healthy an environment as I possibly can, which is why I got new soil and probably will in the future. But going into this breeding run, I want to do that rotation. And then outdoor, well, I probably shouldn't actually do a breeding run outdoor, but for you guys preparing for outdoor and you can only grow outdoor, what I recommend is doing a run 1 year for product, getting as much as you can out of that product, whether you have to make clones and clone super early and just make as much as you possibly can, and grow many pounds to last you throughout the year or 2 years. And then I want you to do a breeding run where you switch to regular seeds completely, breed them together, and then have your own pool of genetics that you can either keep or you can spread around to your friends and family that also grow, and keep our community alive without having to give all of our money to the seed banks. It's not something that I say lightly. We obviously need to support the community, and buying the regular seeds in the first place and buying genetics will always be a thing. But you also need to keep in mind your budget. Keep in mind that not everyone can buy genetics all the time, and sometimes you're going to have to throw a handful of seeds. And when you grow an outdoor plant especially, and you're breeding thousands of seeds, you're going to have a couple that you will be able to comfortably part with. And if you want to get clones from your buddy, hopefully you have good friends who will give them to you. But that crop rotation is going to keep genetics in your closet or storage space, and it's also going to keep your stash completely full. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. Going into a breeding run, I thought about how it could affect the community, and I thought about how you guys could take advantage of it as well. Whether you're just pollen chucking and you want to make random crosses, or you want to do what I'm doing and do a selective breeding process, this could help, I feel like, just about anybody. And man, if you want to stick around, see more content, definitely hit that subscribe button if you're new. If you liked today's video, don't forget to slap a like on that. And if you think this could benefit somebody else, hey, consider sharing to either a group or a family or a friend or somebody, something, a web page for all I care. Just share it around to get the message out there that we need to create a healthy community. But until next time, see you next time. Thank you very much.